Congratulations, you're now the proud owner of a VS4000S steam machine, better known as the Vapor Dragon. Now when your machine arrives, and it'll come in a box just like this, the accessories are on the top of the box, so they'll be taken out much like so. And we'll go over each accessory a little bit later on, but I'm going to take them all out here and put them on a table so that you'll see that there's a number of them. And we'll talk about each of these accessories in a few moments. But the machine itself, well, here's the hose that'll be attached to the machine. Now, the machine itself, I'll just take out here, and it'll come in a bag like this. And so you'll open up the bag, and it'll just be like that. And here's your brand new stainless steel Vapor Dragon. Okay, now let's have a look at the various buttons and what they mean to the operation of this machine. On the right-hand side, my right, your left, you've got the on-off button. The next button here, the second one, is the spray button, right? Both of those are needed for cleaning. The third button is one that gives extra hot water, or turns it into a bit of a pressure washer. In a lot of cases, this doesn't get used unless you're outside. Here is the thermometer, which tells you the heat, and it takes 20 minutes to heat up. By the way, the water goes in here, which we'll do that in a moment. And the thermometer, you'll see, is right down at the bottom here. And once the water goes in and it's plugged in, it'll take about 20 minutes to heat up. That starts moving up here to the top, and when it gets to where it's ready for heating or working, then this light, the green one here, comes on. So this is the button, or this is the light that tells you that the machine is ready for action. All right, over here, this is the pressure button. And it's just a little bit tricky in that, for the most part in North America, if you turn something clockwise, you're turning it up. But in this case, you're turning it off. And if you turn it all the way to the right, some people think they're turning it up high, but they're actually turning it off. And it won't work if it's over there. So my recommendation is turn it all the way to the left, and then back about halfway, and just leave it there. You don't really have to concern yourself with that pressure button. So that's the pressure button, the thermometer, the light telling you that it's ready for action. This, by the way, the orange light tells you that you're out of water. This is the hot water spray button, the spray button here, and the on-off switch. Okay, so your machine is needing water. So you press this down. This is where the water goes. You press this down and turn it all the way left. Okay? Okay, so this comes off. To show you how it tightens whenever you're full of water, I'll just show you that too. You just turn it until it stops turning and then push it down and over. That locks it. So down and turning to the left opens it. All right? And the opposite to lock it when you're heating it up. Okay, so you also have a container here for filling up. And it's just going to take me a moment to get the accessory that goes on the top of that. But this little attachment here goes on the top of this water container. And you're only going to put the water in until it fills up. Much like this. Okay, so it'll take almost 4 of these. So you just take the fill-up container like this, and now you're filling it up. And after you empty this 3.5 times, you're going to have your machine full of water. Okay, so I'm going to just take this off, all right, and assume that it's filled up. Okay, and now When it's filled up, I'm turning it all the way to the right, okay? And I push it down and over, and I plug it in. So we've got the machine heated up. It took 20 minutes to heat up. And if you see the front of the machine now, this green light is now lit up, the bottom light in the middle here. So that means that it's ready for action. So when it's ready for action, you take the hose, which I've taken out of the box. This is the hose here. And I just open up the front of the machine like so, and I push this in like that, and you'll hear a click, okay? So then you've got the hose on. You then turn the second button on, okay? So now you're going to, what's called is aerating the hose. And I'm just going to, you'll see some liquid come out here as I'm aerating it, and you'll see some water come out. See the water dribbling out there? And now this is going to take a little while, okay, let's say half a minute. And now the steam is picking up. You might just turn it over this way a little bit more. See the pressure? Okay. You just keep doing this. You'll notice that on the thermometer it's gone backwards here. Okay? All right. So now it's fully aerated. I'm going to stop. And this might take 2 or 3 minutes for the light to come back on. But you do have to wait for that light to come back on. The machine now, you see the light is on. And by the way, that took a full 3.5 minutes between aerating and the light coming back on. So be patient with that. And if you don't wait, it's not going to operate as efficiently. Okay, so the light is now on. I've got the hose all ready to go. And now I'm ready for work. Now, it is 280-degree heat, but all the heat is right there. So to illustrate how it dissipates, I'll just show you the hose when I'm spraying my hand here with the vapor, and I can put it up that close, all right? So I can't hurt myself unless I put my finger right in there. Yes, you could burn yourself, all right? But it's not very likely you're going to put your finger right there. All right, so let's look at the accessories and how they go on the end of the, at the end of the hose. The one that you're going to use a lot of is this. This is the single hole attachment. And watch how it goes on. It just slips on like this. There's a little hole there, clicks on like that. All right? So that's the single hole attachment. Now we've got medium brushes that you put them on the end of this single hole attachment. They don't spin on, they just push on. That's the circular one. You get one of those. It also has a triangular medium brush, just like so. Now, people use these in showers. They use them in kitchens. They use them in corners, places, difficult places to clean. We put these on here. They can also be used in conjunction with our extensions. And let me just show you, there's 3 extensions, 1 small and 2 long. And how do they work? Well, they just go right on the end of the hose as well. You put the small one on first, just like that. And you take the other one, just like that. And the other one, like this. Now you can be doing grout or walls or windows, whatever. Okay, so all the extensions are on there. So if I was doing a floor with a floor attachment, it can just go down like that. All right, so I'm going to show you, this is the squeegee. Okay, so if I'm using high windows, cleaning high windows, I just put it on the end like this. I pull the trigger here, and you'll see the steam come out. It's wonderful at taking film off any windows or display cases. You can see the steam coming out at the end there. Okay, so here we have what's called the floor wall brush, okay? And you'll see the front of it. There's a little button here that you get this lined up properly and you just move this up and down so it doesn't move. If you move this way, it moves around, okay? All right, now it's exactly the same for the upholstery brush, which is moving around here. You stop this, You push it down like so, and now it doesn't move. Push it up, it moves around like that. So those go right on the end of the extensions, or if you don't need the extensions, then just put it on the end of the hose. So there we could be doing walls or whatever. Just to illustrate, the floor brush, wall brush, goes on like so. Okay, so this attachment is the floor wall brush. And when this is on the bottom, okay, these are used, cloths are used to cover them up so that it can take up the dirt from a floor or a mattress or a couch, let's say. And anyway, what you do is you put the floor wall brush down like so, and then you attach the towels. You'll see the clips there on each end, 2 clips on each end, and it just goes on like so. Now, if I was doing the rugs, I could put extensions on and put it on the end of the hose, and you'll see where the steam is coming out. And if I was doing rugs or mattresses or couches, all the heat comes out here because there's little holes along here, and that's how you steam clean larger surfaces. Okay? Similarly, this is the upholstery brush, which, by the way, in restaurants is used for stainless steel very effectively. So you take another towel, do the same thing again, except this time you do a little diaper-like arrangement, like so, and you put the upholstery brush over that arrangement there, pull it on like that. Now all the heat is coming out of these little holes here, and you're cleaning chairs, you're cleaning stains in carpet, you're cleaning various kinds of things. So this goes on again, like so. All right, and you're cleaning a variety of things around either a home, a business, a car, whatever. Now, when you take off the towel from your floor wall brush, there's also another application for, in this case, we'll call it a floor brush. So you take off this rectangular arrangement here, right? Now there's no towel around it, and you just put the extensions on, and you're cleaning, let's say, a kitchen floor, any kind of a floor, or any kind of a wall, but it's got this nylon brush aspect to it that will clean, especially floors. In restaurants, there's a lot of oil and grease gets on floors, and this is especially effective for that. You see, now I'm going to put on the single hole attachment on the end of the hose, but I'm going to use it in conjunction with the detail brushes, of which there are 30. 10 nylon, 10 brass, and 10 steel. Now, the steel, for example, is a little bit coarse, so be careful. When you're putting these on, I use a towel to push them on, okay? So just push them on like that. Now, this is the most coarse, so you could use this on a barbecue or the most difficult stainless steel, like the carbonated stuff, all right? Okay, so that's the steel. The brass, often used for grout, corners. It does a dynamic job of cleaning stainless steel, doesn't scratch. So you get 10 of those, and they just go on. Just push them on the end, and there's no spinning to them. You just push them on. Okay, so, and the last one is the nylon. And the nylon goes on just the same. Now, when in doubt, you don't know for sure which detail brush to use the nylon. So you're not going to scratch anything with nylon. So if I'm cleaning grout or walls, I'd try this one first. Let me talk about the 2 most common errors of end users after they get the machine. First of all, there's this little button here, the pressure button that I talked about earlier on. And that is, if you turn it all the way to the right, you're turning it off. In North America, we're generally turning it up when you turn it to the right, okay? But you're turning it off. So if nothing's working, chances are this pressure button is turned all the way to the right. I'd recommend turn it about halfway from left and right and just leave it there. Okay, so that's the first one. The next most common error is not waiting the 3 minutes or the 2 minutes. As the machine gets a little older, as you continue to use it, it won't be 3.5 minutes, it'll probably be 2 minutes. But in the early stages, wait that 3.5 minutes because it won't operate as efficiently if you don't wait for that light to come back on. Now the machine is very, very easy to use. And as far as maintenance goes, you can clean the machine with the machine. So I'm just showing you as an example here. This is stainless steel, and this upholstery brush is a dynamic stainless steel cleaner. So why not clean the machine if it's into a cruddy area of your cottage or a barn or something and it gets cruddy looking? Just turn it on and let's clean it. Okay, so you can clean the machine with the machine. All right? Same idea. If you want it to clean with this, I can take this on, put on the circular medium brush, clean the machine. All right, so that part's real simple. As well, in some cases, the small brushes will get cruddy. All right, so let's say that this is all covered up with kind of paint and crud, various varieties. You can take the accessory and clean it with the single hole attachment like this. And that'll have your small accessories last a lot longer. Now remember, it holds 4 liters of water and it lasts 4 hours. So if I use it for an hour today, I have 3 hours left tomorrow. If you know you're going to be working for 4 hours, fill it up the rest of the way the next day. Otherwise, you can use the next 3 hours that's still in the tank. In the wintertime in Canada, it gets pretty cool. And if you leave the machine in your trunk and it's 25 below, the water in here is going to freeze. All right? So you shouldn't leave the machine in below 0 temperature because it's not good for it. Will it work? Yes, but I wouldn't recommend you're leaving it in your car or in your garage when it's 15 below. The other thing is that after a little while, there may be some buildup. Inside your machine. Heavy water, oftentimes the cause of that, but just out of use. So underneath the machine, there is a drain, and the drain is right here. So you just take a pair of pliers and open this up and drain it out. I'd recommend once every 2 months, maybe once every month and a half, depending on how much you're going to use it. But this allows any buildup inside to get drained off. And in fact, if it's in the backyard, you can run the hose right, take this off, okay, run the water right from the top out the bottom just to cleanse it out. If you do that, and you do it consistently, this machine will last. I've seen them last 14 years, 15 years. So if you do that maintenance on it regularly, you're going to have a machine that'll last a lifetime. So if you're a customer that is purchasing the cart and the basket, the cart and basket will come in a separate box shipped to you, and it'll come in 2 components. 1, the bottom part, and 2, the top part of the cart, and it'll also come with a basket that will hold the accessories. So the top part fits right into the bottom part, much like so, like that. And then an Allen key will accompany the package, and you just tighten it up after you put it on. So the tightening up with the Allen key just like this on both sides. So then the machine sits right on the top of the cart like so, just like that. The machine sits on there. The basket fits right in here, like so, and all the accessories go in the basket, while the extensions fit along the side of the cart, like so. A question that the customer can think about when ordering is that, do I need the cart and basket? And the answer to the question is it important to have this stored in one place? In many cases, it's not necessary. In some cases, in a very large operation that's very, very busy, you might want a spot to store the accessories all in one place. It's up to yourself. It depends on the needs of the person and the business whether you want the cart and the basket.